Every week, we try to create an engaging Bible storytelling script with a story convention that connects with how kids learn at their phase of development. Sometimes we take Bible storytelling to kids for granted. After all, they're kids, right? They follow along wherever you take them. What choice do they have? So we put anyone on stage, hand the person a Bible, and say, go. But let's be honest, kids know better. Telling the greatest story ever told deserves more than a slap on the back and a "you can do it" to reach into the hearts of young ones. We need to know what we're doing. Sharing the Bible story in church or wherever should be treated with both respect and care for the art of storytelling. While people spend years developing the craft of making words come to life in the imaginations of people everywhere, there are a few simple ideas that you can use that will help you tell a great story. First, memorize the words, but make them your own. You can't effectively share the story unless you know the story. Most storytellers have some sort of script they either wrote themselves or borrowed from a curriculum, while someone probably spent a good deal of time crafting those exact words. As a storyteller, you still must make them feel like your own words. Of course, there'll be some phrases that you'll want to deliver word for word, bottom lines, or really good sentences. But for the most part, get the story in your head and deliver it. If you try and memorize every single word on the page, you'll be worrying about every single word on the page. The story might come across as stiff and robotic. Making the story your own will make it feel comfortable and engaging. Second, don't wander. You should know where you're walking on stage and why you're going there. In the theater, they call this blocking. And for many storytellers, the default action on stage is pacing back and forth across the front of the stage. But more often than not, this is actually distracting the kids. They'll get tired of swaying their heads back and forth like they're watching a tennis match. That's where blocking comes in. Simply put, blocking is strategic movement across the stage. You can break up different points of a Bible story by moving to different places on stage and finishing with landing the most important point of the story by moving downstage center. You could also block when you're comparing two different ideas by keeping one idea on one side of the stage and the other on the other side. When you move to those places throughout the Bible story, kids will have a physical reference for the idea you're presenting, and it will be easier for their brains to organize and remember. Thirdly, think about your characterization. You can breathe life into your story by how you add personality to your Bible characters. You can do this by thinking about how you speak as well as your body language. Is your character angry? Get angry. Are they strong? Give them strength. You get the picture. As you're reading your script, jot down different adjectives that describe the characters in your story, as well as any verbs that might help give you motivation for why the character is acting a certain way. For example, David trusts in God. He acts strong because he's confident in God, not in his own strength. Goliath, on the other hand, is arrogant and wants to make himself look strong by defeating the Israelite army. They both show strength, but for different reasons, so they need to look different when you're telling their part of the story. When it comes to storytelling, with a little planning and a few read-throughs of the script, you can bring your story to life. When you take the time to plan out your story, know where you're headed and how you'll get there, you help kids engage with the story, remember it, and most importantly, make it their own.